Hello, scholars. It's me again, Dr. Christy, and I have another lesson for you. I'm going to warn you. There's a really good, easy, you're going to enjoy the very front part. It's easy peasy, and I'm betting you probably already know a little bit about the rules I'm going to be teaching you. However, it can get a little more complex toward the second half of the lesson. So, scholars, you're going to do the first part and it's going to be easy peasy. I think you're going to really enjoy it and you get some cool stuff, and so that's going to be great. The second part of the lesson gets a little bit crazy. There are even sometimes grown-ups say, wow, that was hard for me to understand. But I'm getting pretty good at explaining it. I think it's going to be great. Today, I'm going to start off by reading a book called I Am Going. Now, the reason this I says I is because it's a short little word with a vowel at the end. It's an open vowel. The I just says I because, well, it's an open vowel. There's nothing behind it to tell it to make it short sound. This A says am because that vowel is closed off. It's got an M at the end. Now, if I took the M away, that's the word A. But because it's got a consonant blocking in that vowel, that vowel's going to say ah. That says its name because it's open. There's nothing closing it in. This one says ah because the M is closing it in. Open vowel, closed vowel. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Really, what you need to remember, if you have a short little word and the vowel's at the end, the vowel says its name. I am. Now look at this word. I'm just going to cover up part of it. I have a G and an O. It's a short little word with a vowel at the end. What does that say? G-O. Yeah, so that's G-O. Now the lesson for today is about these three letters. Here's what you need to know. I-N-G says ing like ring. I-N-G says ing like ring. And I'm pointing to my ring finger. There's something special about this ring finger because evidently it has a blood vessel or something that goes through it. And that's symbolic. So when you get married someday, if that's something you do, you put your wedding ring on this finger because it carries the blood right back from your heart and out again and then back to your heart. So that's your ring finger, the one right next to your pinky, which is another part of our lesson today. ING says ing like ring finger, and INK says ink like pinky. So we'll get there. The book I'm going to read to you is I Am Going. This is a good day. Just like yesterday. Yes, yesterday was a good day too. Well, I am going. You are going? You are going away? Yes. You cannot go. You must not go. I will not let you go. Pop. I am going. Piggy! What about me? Who will I skip with? Who will I play ping pong with? We'll come back to that. Who will I wear a silly hat with? Who will I skip and play ping pong in a silly hat with? I am sorry, Gerald, but I'm going. Fine. Then I will go too. Watch me go. I am going. Look at me go. Have fun. Wait! Go later. Go tomorrow. Go next week. Go next month. Go next year. I am going now. Now? Why, Peggy? Now, we haven't learned this yet, but we are going to. WH says W in lots and lots of words. This is WH that says W. It's a really short word, so the Y is going to say I. Why? Maybe you better help me. You ready? Why? It's lunchtime, Gerald. Lunchtime? I am going to eat lunch. You are going to eat lunch? Yes. Oh, that's a really tricky word. I would think it would say ah. ah, but it says oh. Oh. Piggy. Yes, Gerald. Is it a big lunch? This is a good day, just like yesterday. I think Elephant must have half of Piggy's lunch most of the time. It seems like it anyway. And look who we have right there. You see Pigeon. So in this book, I want you to remember that ing says ing like ring. And in your kit, you actually get one of these. It's a ring pop. But I also have something else for you. Inside your kit, you'll also have another kind of ring, because when this one's gone, it doesn't look good anymore. And you'll have this one to wear on your ring finger, either your left side or your right side. It doesn't matter to me. But you can even put it on your pointer finger so that when you're decoding words with ing that says ing, you can kind of have that ring there to remind you about those sounds. So we have some word cards for you, and you'll print them off and you'll have them to decode lots of words with ing saying ing. And then we also have some word cards for you that they're on your downloadables again, and you'll decode lots of words that have ink that says ink like wink. So this book is called Annie and Snowball and the Pink Surprise. And here's the motion. We say ing says ing like ring, and ink says ink like wink. So there are lots and lots of things that you can do to help you have fun with this. But inside your kit, there's this little plastic sheet of, well, it's a sheet of plastic. And I've put a hole at the top, and I've tried to smooth out the sides a bit. And your job is to take, if you do the roughed up side, you can use, what are they called? Colored pencils, and draw a picture of yourself. And you're going to put your head right here at the top by the hole and make yourself as long as you can on the plastic so that your feet are down here at the bottom. And you're just going to make a picture of you. You could be wearing what you're wearing right now, or you could wear something like your favorite soccer uniform or something. Whatever, just make it look like you. Then the next thing we're going to do is place it on a piece of foil and stick it in. It's best if you have a toaster oven, because in the toaster oven you can watch through the window and the plastic will start to ripple and bend and go kind of crazy, and all of a sudden it shrinks. And when it happens, when it starts to move, you can say, ah, I'm shrinking, in the word shrinking. By the way, this piece of plastic got this small. That's me. And I said, ah, I'm shrinking. And that helps me to remember that ing says ing and ink says k. Now, there is a game board that has words with ing and ink. And of course, you're just going to roll the die, move the number of places, decode those words, remembering ink says ink like wink and ing says ing like ring. You'll decode and make your way all the way down to the bottom. Now, there's something important you need to know. You can play that game across a couple of days, and then you'll get really good at decoding these words. The thing that's tricky is when we have words with ng and nk, we don't really, like I already told you, ing says ing. It almost sounds like it would have two e's and a ing. What in the world are we doing there? Ing. When I make the sound for an n, my tongue goes to the roof of my mouth. Mm. And when I make the sound for a g, I say g. And something's happening way back there. G. Ing is not the same as ing. When I make the sound ing, let's get rid of the I just for a minute. When I say ing, I'm doing something really weird with my mouth. My tongue never goes up for the N, and I just kind of go, My tongue's hanging out in the middle of my mouth. Here's the weird thing. A-N-K can say ang, sang. And let's do U-N-G can say sung. So I taught you ing says ing and ink says ink. But the fact is, any vowel can make a different sound like this. Song. Yeah, so the I is really not the tricky part. The tricky part is the nasal sound we make when we say and unk. Yeah, it's tricky. It's a nasalized consonant sound. And so that's going to take some practice to get used to. And I've got another game board for you here, and it has all the vowels except E. You don't usually see E-N-K or E-N-G, but a lot of other vowels where the NG says and the NK says unk. All right, so lots of practice there. When if you want to put the NG words and the NK words all together in a basket and mix them up and have someone who loves you draw a word out, and then you can say, does it say ing or unk? And you can practice spelling some right here. Remember, it's trickier to spell because you're going ing, and it kind of sounds like there should be an E. So you have to really keep your eyes open and say ing. Oh, I know, ing says ing. Now, we're stepping into the next part of the lesson. And for that part of the lesson, I have a word building card. You can use this, or you can, if you have a classroom, of course, you can use the other papers that have lots and lots of INGs and lots of V's on the same card. So what I have is a word building mat. I'm going to place that right here, and then I'm going to get this out of my way because I'm going to need space. Then I'm going to show you lots of words. I'm just going to spread some out here. You'll know a lot of these. All right, so I'm going to spread those out, and now I'm going to get the ending ing that says ing, like ring, right? Ing says ing, like ring. I'm going to use this to change some words that are action words. A verb is an action word. A verb is an action word. So here's the deal. I've got this word, smile. S-M-I-L. Smile. Nice. Now I'm going to place it on my word building card, and I'm going to put an ing. This is what we call a present participle. When you add an ing, it means like you're doing it right now. Like right now, I'm smiling. Now I've got a problem when I have the word smile and I add an ing, because I know that rule. When you have two vowels together, the first one says its name. And I see here, okay, that's a magic E telling that I to say its name. And then, oh, here are two vowels together. So that E should say its name. Smile-ing, smiley-ing. Here's what you need to know. When you have a magic E, we don't want that E to say its name. So to keep it from doing it, we get rid of the E and let the I do the jumping. Here's what I say. Any vowel can jump and tell another vowel to say its name. They don't always, but they can. You watch for it. You'll see more and more words that have not just an E that jumps and tells a vowel to say its name, but any vowel can do it. I'll show you more examples in a bit. So for now, we have the word smile. When we add an ing, we don't want two vowels together, so we're going to let the I do the magic and make that smile-ing. Yeah, the I is still saying its name because the other I is telling it to do so, and we add the ing, smiling. Let's try another one. How about this? Let's make the sounds. I have the word sh, r. Wait, do you remember with AR saying R? This is a really unusual one. AR. With AR, Magic E wins. Magic E can tell this A. Don't say ah like you do in the sound R. Say your name. So that would say shar, but this says share. All right, so let's say you're really good when it comes to sharing with your siblings, your brothers and sisters. If you wanted to say sharing, like I am so good at sharing, do you see the problem? There it is again. Now I have two vowels together. That E should say its name, but I don't want it to say share-ing, So what do? Well, I'm going to let that I get rid of that E and let the I tell the A to say its name. So now we have sharing. I don't have two vowels together anymore. That I is doing the jumping to tell that A to say its name. Sharing. All right, so let's do this word. Stop. 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 So I'm going to put that in my word building kit. Now I'm going to put the word part ing to make it a present participle. So this says stop, easy peasy. That says ing. Does this say stopping? It doesn't. Here's why. Remember we said any vowel can jump over and tell that O to say its name? We wanted the I to do the jumping to make those magic E words say their names, but we don't want this one. We don't want it to say stoping. So what do we do if we don't want that I to do magic? Here's what we do. We add a blocker letter. Now, you know words that have blocker letters. Let me erase this real quick. You know words that have blocker letters. You know what to do with them because I bet you know this word. What does that say? Kiss. Easy peasy, right? We know that when you have two of the same letter, you don't say k-is. When you have two of the same letter, you only make that sound one time. We learned that long ago in making words. If I have this word, hill. It says hill. Yeah, I don't make this sound two times because there are two L's. If they're exactly the same letter, you just make the same sound and hold it. So that word says hill. That's important to know here because when you need a blocker letter, you're going to double the letter that came after that short vowel sound. So this is stop. If I wanted to say stopping and I don't want this I to do magic, I double the P. It's a blocker letter. It tells that I, don't you make that O change its sound. I want it to say ah because the base word is stop. I can't have it changed to stope. What in the world is that? So I need a blocker letter. Let's try another one. So let's do this word, map. Like I was making a map of the playground. Well, I was mapping the playground. I've got a problem. Do you see it? Yeah, that I can tell that A to say its name. It doesn't do it just sometimes. It almost always will jump over and tell a vowel to say its name if it's a short vowel. And so I don't want it to say maping. I don't want to change the sound of that A. So what do? Well, by golly, I'm glad you asked. We double the P. We make it a blocker letter. Ing. Now, it just so happened that map and stop were both P's, but it doesn't have to be a P. Watch this. Let's see if you can make the sounds for this word. It says shrug. Shrug. When you shrug your shoulders like that, like, I don't know. So that says shrug. If I wanted to say shrugging, do you see it? Yeah, that's that any vowel can jump rule. I don't want it to say shrugging. So what do? I put in a blocker letter. So I'm going to it's not a P this time, it's a G. So when I spell the word shrugging, it's SHRUGGING. So I think you've got that probably by now. Remember, if it's got a magic E like this, sharing, well, I want the A to say A, so I just let the I do the jumping. If it's something like this, oh, I don't want to do that one yet. Let's do this. In. I want that I to keep saying it. Otherwise, it changes the word entirely. I don't want it to say grinding. So if I don't want it to say grinding, I have to put in a blocker letter. In this case, I'm going to double the N, right? Two N's, just say N. It doesn't change the word at all. Now, there's something else you need to know, as if it needed to be any more confusing. If you have, well, first of all, the word like call, it has a built-in blocker letter. I don't need a blocker letter because Well, it's already got 2 L's. I don't need to worry about it. That says calling. This says N-J, oi. I don't think I've taught you that yet, but O-Y says oi, like toy coin. N-J, oi. Now that's not a short O saying ah, so I don't have to block it with anything. I just add an ing. If there's a rule you know at the end where the vowel is not making its short sound, you usually just add the ing. What's this one? G-l, ow. G-l-o. That's it, glow. If I wanted to say glowing, I don't have to double the W because that O is already saying O. So it's not going to hurt anything to have that I there. Here's one. Scoot. Scoot. If I were scooting down the bench, I just added I because the 2 O's are already saying ooh. That I can't change it because it's not a short vowel sound. So scooting. You're going to have lots and lots of practice making words just like that. Now remember, the rule is any vowel can jump. So an I can absolutely do magic. So can lots of vowels. There's this other practice sheet. You'll just cut this into fourths, and then you'll see that some of these have an ing that jumps and tells the vowel to say its name, and some of them have blocker letters, and that I cannot jump. So these are just some practice words you can use drawing the arrows to decide, does the vowel say its name or does it make a different sound? Now, to get really good at this, we're going to do some extra work with spelling. So on this practice page, this one's the easiest one. So let's start with this one, what to do about that E. Remember, when we were building words just a bit ago, if it had a magic E, we got rid of the E and let the I do the magic. So if I'm writing staring, I'm going to go stare. Now the word stare has to have a magic E to tell that A to say its name, but I want it to say staring. If I put an E and then add an ing, I have 2 vowels together. I don't want 2 vowels together. So I'm going to let that I tell the A to say its name. So I got rid of the E and added an ing. That is staring. Now, if you can spell it, you'll be able to read it. It's a little trickier. Actually, in this case, spelling it is a little easier. Now, the next, you're going to do maybe a third of these today, and then maybe a third, the next third of them the next day, and the next third the next day, and by then you'll have it down pat. Now, for this, it's a little trickier because it says to double, like to put in a blocker guy, or not to double. You're going to have to decide. So if this word is the word glow, the OW is already saying O. So you don't have to double anything. We want the O to say its name. So you would say O. OW says ow or O. And then you just add the ing. You do not need a blocker letter. You don't have to get rid of any E because there's no magic E word here. The next word is blot, like I'm blotting my face with a paper towel maybe I'm sweaty, so I'm going to blot my face. Now, if I make the sounds, I'm going to go b, ol, ah, t. Did you hear that I said ah? It's a short vowel. And if I put an ing, that I will jump over the T and tell the O to say your name. So I don't want it to say bloating. I want it to say blotting. So if I want the O to keep saying ah, I have to add a blocker letter. In this case, it's a T because there was a T right after that short vowel. Blot, and then ing says ing, like ring. Now again, you'll do some of these today, some of these the next day, some of these the next day, and you'll get so good at it. Right here on this to double or not to double is the word star. And you'll have to remember that if I put star with an ing, that I is going to do magic because magic E wins with AR. That means the I will win with an AR. So if you wanted to say starring, like starring Dr. Christy, probably not going to happen. But if you want it to stay starring, you're going to need a blocker letter to keep that I from telling the A to say staring, like I'm staring at you right now. That's a trickster. Your parents can help you. Now, there's a game board. Of course, we like to have a game board for everyone. And when you play this game board, you're going to have to remember that, like in the top left-hand corner, it says N-A-M-I-N-G. I would make the sounds N-am-ing, namming. That I is doing the jumping and telling that A to say its name. It's naming. Now, what I do oftentimes when I'm tutoring kids is I'll tell them, you're right, that does say naming. What's the base word? How would you spell the base word? If it's name-ing, naming, how would you spell the base word? And sometimes they even write it right on the paper. N-A-M. Now, what you have to remember is if I just write N-A-M, it's nam. I need that A to say its name. So the base word is name with an E. The fact is I got rid of the E and added the ing when I made it naming. So when you go through this game board, every now and again, I'm going to ask that person who loves you to ask you, what's the base word? What was the word before we added ing? And let's just say if it was the word buzzing, if I got rid of the ing, it really does have two Z's. B-U-Z-Z says buzz. But in words like, let's say hugging, when you write the base word for hugging, it's just H-U-G. I doubled that G to be a blocker letter so it wouldn't say huging. All right, so there's some practice for you, and your family can help you to decide, do you need a blocker letter? Do you not need a blocker letter? What was the word before I added the ing? You'll get pretty good at it. You have word cards that you can draw to do some spelling. And in your box, of course, you're going to have a ding dong and a Twinkie to help you remember ing says ing like ring, and ink says ink like wink. Now, there's one last little thing I need to tell you. I've already said these words, and it is any vowel can jump. It doesn't always, but it can. What we call that is really an open syllable. When I was talking about this I, it's an open syllable. It's a short little word with a vowel at the end. Am is a closed syllable. That's the vowel, and it's closed in by the M. I've got an informational sheet that you can use, and you'll see that it's not just I that can jump back and tell a vowel to say its name. If you read this word with me, it says tornado. But I have this rainbow to show you. It's tornado. Any vowel can jump. It doesn't always, but in this one, it's almost like that O is telling the A to say its name. Here's the deal. That is just a way to help you decode. When you don't know a word to begin with, you have to use strategies like that to figure it out. But the real way it works is tor is a syllable, nay is a syllable, so that nay is spelled N-A, tornado. Some people say, oh, it's tornado. I see that word do. Do is a rule breaker, and you can't use that. Look for little words inside of big words. It almost never works when you get to sophisticated words. Tornado. Here's the word became. It's almost like that A is telling the E to say its name. Be-aim. But it's really, this is an open syllable. The way to find it, though, is just remember, any vowel can jump. It doesn't always, but it can. There's another instructional sheet here that has open syllable words. So this is an A saying A, and this is another short word, am, saying am. B is an open syllable because the last letter of the short little word is a vowel, E. But if I close it in with a T, the E says eh. So A, am, B, bet, I, in. Do you see how the vowel's changing from saying its name to making it short sound? It's just open syllables or closed syllables. Here are lots of words that are longer words where the vowel says its name, and it looks like any vowel can jump. It's just the end of it's an open syllable. So lots of practice here. Here's information for your parents to help you to figure it out. And there are even some big words here where you can say, oh, look, magic E in the middle, and you can decode lots of words. Try with your finger or a pencil to show any vowel can jump. That just means the vowel is saying its name because it's an open syllable. All right, that's it. If you got nothing else, remember ing says ing like ring, and ink says ink like wink. And we'll keep practicing that, what to do when you add an ing. That's it for today, everybody. Thank you. See you soon.